I spent $295,000 in the past 36 months marketing my business, and I learned 7 big marketing lessons spending that money that helped me build $1 million business in my 20s. And in this video, I'm going to share those 7 marketing lessons with you for free, so you don't have to spend close to $300,000 like I did to learn them. Because once you know these 7 marketing lessons, you'll make more sales than you know what to do with. So with that being said, let's dive into them. The first lesson I learned is to stop guessing and model what works. And I wish I learned this lesson sooner, because once I learned this, I stopped losing money on my marketing campaigns and I started creating campaigns that printed money. So what I learned is the easiest way for me to create winning campaigns was to just model my competitors' campaigns who are already crushing it. Because my competitors have already done the heavy lifting for me by spending millions of dollars testing to figure out what offers, ads, and messaging already works. And by modeling what they were doing, I was able to create campaigns that crushed it because I wasn't reinventing the wheel. And I learned this because when I was running Facebook ads trying to get clients for my marketing agency, every campaign I launched failed and lost money. And it was driving me insane because I knew Facebook ads worked, because I had multiple competitors selling high-ticket B2B services like I was, who were making millions of dollars a month from Facebook ads. So I said, screw it, I'm just gonna model what these guys are doing instead of guessing. So what I did is I looked at the 3 biggest companies who sold high-ticket B2B growth services who were crushing it with Facebook ads. And those 3 companies were Gym Launch, which was a company that helped gyms make more money, Hyros, which was an ad tracking software, and Closers.co, which was a sales and recruiting company. And these were all companies doing millions of dollars a month from Facebook ads. And when I looked at their ad campaigns, I noticed they had 3 big things in common. So the first thing is their ads guaranteed an outcome. So Gym Launch guaranteed to add $100,000 to your gym or you don't pay. Hyros guaranteed to increase ad ROI or you don't pay. And Closers.co guaranteed to place an appointment setter who'd perform or you don't pay. The second thing is their ads all showed client results to back up that they could deliver on that guarantee. And the third thing is they were running a lot of video ads, which I wasn't at the time. So once I saw those 3 things in common, I modeled it. I created an ad that guaranteed a 10x ROI on my marketing services, shared a bunch of client results, and was a video of me that I shot on my iPhone pitching the offer. And I launched that marketing campaign and it crushed it. The campaign brought in over 3,000 leads for my agency and hundreds of paying clients. And that's when I learned it's a lot easier to model what works instead of trying to guess what works. So here's what I recommend you do if you're struggling to create marketing campaigns that convert, or you just want to find more winning campaigns. So step number 1 is make a list of the top competitors and businesses in your space who are crushing it and making a lot of money from their marketing, and look for at least 5 to 10 competitors. Then step number 2 is study their marketing campaigns and ads to see what they have in common. So look at their offers, their messaging, and their funnels, and you want to look for trends. And you can do this using free tools like Facebook Ad Library, TikTok Ad Library, and Google Ad Library. There's plenty of free tools to spy on your competitors. Then step number 3 is once you find the key 3 to 5 things that they all share in common, model them for your own marketing campaigns and put your own unique twist on them. And if you do this, you'll have a much higher chance of your campaigns working because you're modeling what's already working instead of guessing. The second lesson I learned is develop a full stack skill set. So what I realized is in order for my marketing campaigns to get results, there's multiple skills I needed to learn together. And here's what I mean. When I first started marketing my business, I didn't know how to create something people want to buy, so I had to learn the skill set of creating a good offer. And then once I learned how to create a good offer, I didn't know how to get traffic to that offer, so I had to learn the skill set of advertising. Then once I learned how to get traffic to that offer, I couldn't convert that traffic into leads, so I had to learn the skill set of building landing pages. And once I learned how to turn traffic into leads, I couldn't convert those leads into paying customers, so I had to develop the skill set of sales and follow-up. And only once I had all those skills come together of offer creation, traffic generation, landing page building, and sales was I able to have success with my marketing campaigns. And that's the key point I want you to understand, is in order for a marketing campaign to succeed, there is a full stack of skills you need to learn. And once you have that full stack of skills, it's much easier for you to create winning marketing campaigns because you have the skills required for success, and any problem you run into in your marketing, you know how to fix it. So as a marketer, what I recommend is focus on developing a full stack skill set. And the key skills I recommend you know is offer creation, so you know how to create something people want to buy, traffic generation, so you know how to get attention for your offer, landing page creation, so you know how to convert that traffic into customers, and retention skills, so you know how to make more money per customer. And you don't have to become a master master at each one of these skills, but you have to know enough of each one of these skills so you can fix them if they become a constraint in your marketing. So if you notice that you have a low conversion rate on your landing page that's preventing you from growing, you have to know enough about landing page optimization to fix that so you can continue to grow your marketing. Now, if you want to get 20 plus free trainings and courses I made to help you become a full stack marketer and learn those skill sets for free, go to marketersplaybook.io. That's marketersplaybook.io, or the first pinned comment below. Just put in your email address and I'll send them your way for free. But do that after you finish watching this video, or else you're going to mess up my retention. So do it after you watch the video. So apart from that, let's dive into the next lesson. The third lesson I learned is to test campaigns fast and avoid perfectionism, because the faster I tested marketing campaigns, the faster I found winning campaigns that worked. Because one of the biggest marketing mistakes I made early on is I was a perfectionist. I would spend weeks, sometimes months, trying to create the perfect ad campaign because I thought that would increase my chances of success. It wasn't until I had a conversation with my first big marketing mentor, Rudy Moore, who's made tens of millions of dollars in sales, and he told me one thing that completely changed the way I thought about marketing. He said the only difference between him and most business owners is in the same time it takes most business owners to fail once, he's already failed 20 times and found out what works. Because Rudy understood the faster he could test campaigns and fail, the faster he could get real world feedback and find out what marketing campaigns do work. Because you're likely not going to create a winning marketing campaign on your first try. Like, that's likely not going to happen. What typically happens is you launch a bunch of marketing campaigns and most of them fail, but you get one or two that might start taking off if you get the message right. So if you take weeks or months trying to test a marketing campaign, it's going to take you significantly longer to find a winning campaign. So after I learned that lesson from Rudy, I completely changed my approach. Instead of being a perfectionist and testing slow, I started testing campaigns really fast so I could get real world feedback and make iterations. And I viewed each failure as a good thing because it meant I was one step closer to finding a winning campaign and succeeding. And within a few weeks of this rapid testing approach, I found a winning video ad that I was able to scale to hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales. And it's all because I stopped being a perfectionist and I started testing campaigns fast. So as a marketer, the mindset you want to have is to test fast and not be a perfectionist, because the faster you test, the faster you get the feedback required to iterate and succeed with your marketing campaigns. And instead of viewing failure as a bad thing, view it like you're one step closer to finding that winning campaign. And I promise you, if you do this, you're going to create more winning campaigns faster. The fourth lesson I learned is to stop worrying about offer scalability. This is a big one because I remember I was so scared to launch offers I knew people would buy and would find valuable because I thought they weren't scalable or they'd be hard to fulfill, which makes no sense because I had no fucking clients at the time. So I would just end up launching these offers that I thought were scalable, but in reality, they were just watered down dog shit offers that no one wanted to buy. And I kept falling for this trap for months, and as a result, I wasn't making any money. So I knew I had to change my approach or else I was going to stay broke. So instead of worrying about offer scalability, I thought, what is the craziest, most valuable offer I could make someone where they'd feel stupid saying no? So the way I figured this out is I thought, who is my ideal client who I could provide the most value to? And that at the time was business owners doing over $1 million in revenue, who were spending money on ads and had an engaged email list. Those were my easy win clients. Next, I thought, what is the most insane offer I could make these clients that I know they'd say yes to? So I created an offer where I promised them a 10x ROI on my fees, and I'd run their ads, write their emails, and do their conversion rate optimization all done for you, because I knew if I did everything for them, I'd be able to guarantee a 10x ROI because I was basically their in-house marketing manager at that point. Now, was this offer scalable? No, not at all, but it was my best foot forward to get someone to say yes. And when I launched this offer, I started getting leads and clients right away for it. So now I had demand for my offer and I was making money. And that was huge for me because once I knew I could generate demand and clients, I knew I had the rest of my life to figure out the scalability part, because the hardest thing for most startup businesses is getting new customers. And now I had a way to do that. So I spent a full year fulfilling on clients for this offer. And the first year was very difficult. I was working 14 hours a day and I was in client accounts all day. But guess what? Over time, it got easier to fulfill on, because now that I had cash flow coming in, I was able to hire talent to help with the fulfillment. And then over time, I started removing parts of my offer that were hard to fulfill that clients didn't actually care about. And I kept iterating this offer over and over until it got easier and easier to fulfill. fulfill. And I scaled this offer to over 6 figures a month in revenue. But I only got to that point by first not worrying about scalability and instead putting my best foot forward to get momentum in sales. So if right now you're struggling to get clients and sales, stop worrying about the scalability of your offer or what your business might look like at 1,000 customers because you're not there yet. Instead, create an offer that provides as much value as possible to someone and is easy to sell and not necessarily scalable, because this is going to allow you to get momentum where you're now making sales and you have money coming in so you can hire talent to help you with fulfillment and you can iterate your offer over time until it gets easier and easier for you to fulfill. The fifth lesson I learned is to keep your marketing simple. The simpler my marketing campaigns were, the better they performed. And I've seen this over and over again, not just for myself, but also for my clients. Like I remember when I first started creating marketing campaigns, I thought you needed really polished and professional looking ads and all these advanced funnels and automations to get results. So that's what I did. I would create these long-winded polished ads to demonstrate my expertise, and I would create these complex webinar funnels and automations, but I noticed I wasn't making any money. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to completely change my approach and make my marketing as simple as possible for people to understand and go through and see what happens. So again, my offer in my agency was I promised clients a 10x ROI. So I created a super simple ad that pretty much said, if you're looking to scale your revenue, we guarantee a 10x ROI. So for every $1 you give us, we give you $10 back. If you're skeptical about this offer, click on this ad and you're going to see a bunch of results from clients. If you like the offer, book a call and let's talk. So it was a super simple, straightforward ad. And then I created a basic landing page that had a headline, a 5-minute explainer video, some testimonials, and a button to book a call. That's it. It took me less than a few hours to create. And this added landing page crushed it. It generated hundreds of clients and it converted 15% of people who clicked on the ad into applications, which is insane. And a huge part of the campaign's success, I believe, was because of how simple it was for people to understand and go through. Because if people don't understand your marketing campaign, they're going to stop reading it and you're going to lose them. And if there's too much friction in your marketing funnel, they're going to drop off. So to make your marketing simpler for people to understand and go through, here's 2 things I recommend doing. The first thing is make sure you write the copy for any of your marketing campaigns under a 5th grade reading level. This is going to make your marketing a lot easier for people to understand without being confused. And you can do this using a free writing editor like Hemingway. All you have to do is put your copy in the editor and it's going to tell you your reading level of your copy and then edit it down until it's below 5th grade reading level. The second thing is make sure your landing pages and funnels have as little friction as possible for the action you want people to take. And you do this by removing any unnecessary steps or parts of your marketing funnel that don't need to be there. And if you do those 2 things, your marketing is going to be a lot easier for people to understand and go through, and you'll get more conversions. The 6th lesson I learned is to scale winners fast. So when I had a marketing campaign that was performing well, the faster I scaled it, the more money I made. For example, I went from 10K a month to 50K a month in 120 days. And I went from 50K a month to 100K a month in 90 days. And those big jumps in revenue in short time periods came from scaling my winning campaigns. And I know it can be super scary at first to scale your marketing campaigns because before you make back the money, you have to spend the money and you don't know if you're going to make that money back. But if you can get over that fear and be comfortable going on the offense when you have a winning campaign, that's where the big money is. For example, I remember when I was spending $300 per day on ads, I was making roughly $1,500 per day in sales back, which was great. I was printing money. So I decided to hire a few extra sales reps so I could scale even further. And now that I hired these sales reps, I realized, shit, now I have to increase my ad spend to give them leads as well. And in order for me to fill up their pipeline with leads, I had to scale my ad spend from $300 a day to $1,000 per day in ad spend, which was super scary for me. Like that was a lot of money going out of my bank account each day, and I didn't know if I'd make that money back unless my sales team closed the deals. But I decided to pull the trigger and scale things up fast because I didn't want to miss out on scaling the offer. So I started spending $1,000 a day on my campaigns and I was shitting my pants. But over time, my sales reps started closing these deals, and within a few weeks, my business was doing over $3,000 a day in sales. So I more than doubled my business in a week just by scaling my campaigns fast and doubling down when the time was right. So when you have a marketing campaign that's working well, act fast and don't be afraid to scale them up. That doesn't mean be irresponsible, but don't be afraid to put more money into them if they show promise, because you have to strike when the iron's hot. And if you scale your winners at the right time and do it properly, you can make a lot of money and make massive jumps in your income in very short time periods. So don't be afraid to scale. The seventh lesson I learned is to know your constraint. So what I realized is my marketing would continue to work up until it reached its constraint. And the constraint is the limiting factor in your marketing funnel that stops it from scaling. And I realized the better I got at finding out what the constraint was in my marketing funnel and fixing it, the further I could scale my marketing. For example, I reached a point in my agency where I couldn't scale my campaigns past $2,000 per day in ad spend, and I went from getting a 4x return on my ads down to a 2x return. So I knew there was a constraint in my marketing funnel that had to be fixed in order to reach that next level of scale. So when I looked at my funnel data, I noticed my ad costs were the same, my conversion rates were the same, but the sales team closing rate dropped from 20% down to 10%. So that is a 50% drop in sales team closing rate. And the reason this was happening is as you scale your ads further, naturally you reach colder and colder audiences, so the lead quality tends to drop a little bit. So now that I knew the constraint, which was my sales team closing rate, my number one priority was fixing that constraint so my marketing could continue scaling. So I asked the sales team, what's getting in the way of you guys closing and getting back to 20%? And they told me they were getting a lot more objections from leads, and the leads seemed to be more skeptical than normal, and this made total sense because we were scaling and reaching colder audiences. So once I got that feedback, what I did is I created more content to warm up the leads we were getting, and I hired a sales coach to train our sales reps. And by doing those two things, we were able to get our closing rate back up to 20% and scale our ads past $2,000 per day in ad spend profitably. So as a marketer, when your marketing stops working or growing, ask yourself, what is the constraint? And then look at the data in your marketing funnel. Because when you look at the data, you're likely going to see one big area that's lacking. Whether it's your conversion rate, your traffic, whatever it is, there's going to be one big variable that's the constraint preventing you from scaling. And once you find that constraint, your number one focus is to put all of your energy on fixing it. Because fixing that constraint is the biggest lever you can pull for more growth. So I hope you found those 7 lessons helpful, and if you want to get 20 plus free marketing courses and trainings that I use to generate tens of millions of dollars in sales for my clients for free, go to marketersplaybook.io. That's marketersplaybook.io, or the first pinned comment below. All you have to do is put in your email address and I'll send them your way, all for free. Again, that's marketersplaybook.io. Apart from that, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.